power, baby. Welcome to Point Fighter Live. I'm Alex Reyes, and I'm here today with Larry Fields, the co-host. We're going to be talking about breaking. How you doing today, sir?
Bang, bang, baby. I'm doing great. I got
Yes,
my thing
yes.
going on. I'm ready to rock and roll. Ha!
Man, I had such a good workout this morning. I already posted it and everything out there. And this weekend, man, in Texas, right? In Mesquite, Texas, at the Mesquite Convention Center on Friday, it's going down, the A.O.K State Championships, Elite Breakers. It's going to be an awesome event. $500 to men and $500 to women. I can't wait to compete this weekend, man. And there's a bunch of other awards too. You got drones as well for the kids and stuff. So it's going to be a super exciting event, man.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. The kids are so excited about the drones. It was my wife's idea, and I was like, "Man, that's a great idea." I can't believe somebody else hasn't already done it. And we've got some cool trophies for everybody. Uh, and then they get double points for the U.S. Open. So
Wow.
and points just keep rolling over for the U.S. Open. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming up next year. I am so excited. Like you, I worked out this morning. I feel pretty good. Muscles are a little bit sore. But yeah, I'm ready. I can't wait till Friday. We're getting everything prepped, everything ready. We got some great bricks. They're not the big, thick 2-inch bricks we've been having to break. I've got a distributor here that gets me the good bricks, so we're gonna have some good numbers.
Wow, man. Yeah, I'm so excited. And I'm competing and I'm going for it. I'm doing the sidekick, the three directional, the power arm elbow. That's it for me. This is like my first event, like in on my road to the US Open World Championships. Like this is where I'm trying to like really show that I've gotten better. And at this one, this is where it starts, and that's it. Getting to the promised land right there, right? To making it on number one, making it on there on stage, and then number two, going for a title. So it's like I'm so excited this weekend to compete it. I've been training so hard too, man. Like I'm super pumped, and it's gonna be some great competition. I know that for sure. Last night I confirmed with him. Anthony, our truther, is gonna be there, and he's sponsored now by Monster Energy drink. So he's gonna be there. He's super pumped up. There's gonna be some great competition, and equality, right? Equality. $500 to the man and the woman. And I love what you did at this event, with having the same divisions for the men and for the women. So like, hopefully this sets a standard as well for the future, right?
Right, right, right. The only difference is the men are breaking concrete, the women are
Yeah.
breaking wood. But there's a lot of females that are intimidated by bricks.
Yeah.
You and I know quite a few that aren't, but we want to make it to where it's fun for everybody, and we
Yes.
kind of get them on the same page on what's going on. I'd love for the ISKA to get the women to be able to do the just like the men, do all the same
Yeah.
divisions the men do, the women do, and get an ultimate breaker for the women like that. They only have the creative for women, and
Yeah.
we need to push this sport into the
Yes.
future and get more and more people involved. Just like you and I were talking about the Vegas thing we've got coming. There's people in California. There's people all
Yes.
on that West Coast that are doing breaking, but we need to pull them along and get everybody joined together. You know,
I agree. I agree. And sometimes, and the US Open, the people, the USBA, the ISK that run it, they do such a great job. And everything is a factor, including time and management. And like, so even if it's not like what I would, even if it's not on TV, right? Even if for the first year or whatever, at least because of it's just so much stuff that you could put on TV, right? And like now, okay, women titles, more TV, which will be great, right? I think it will be great for all of that, but at least a baby steps. You know what I'm saying? At least make it a title categories as well, even if it doesn't have time or space, because that takes time as well, to plan it out. Even and it's coming close already. It's already in July. But even if it's not put on TV, at least give them the chance to win the title in those same categories as well. I think that would be the next step, and then eventually get it to where the women are on TV as well with the same categories as the men, right? So
oh,
that's what
for
I
sure.
think on that. Yeah.
And the other thing is, women bring to breaking a different aspect. Because
Yeah.
there's, you and I have seen this all the time. A woman will break, and everybody and their dog will jump on there and dog them out because they think, oh, it's fake, it's this, it's that. But they see a guy break something and they're not so much on it,
Yeah.
as demeaning. But women are great breakers. I mean, you and I know, there's the lady up there in New York that's a really good breaker. She's coming along really well, and there's 5 or 6 here in Texas that are kicking around that are coming on
Yeah,
and
man.
breakers.
No, there's some incredible breakers, and Ashley Sodden, Barb LeBron, Avery Tripp. There's some great breakers. Alana Reposado, which competes with the men sometimes, right? And then at the U.S. Open, where she's competed for a title, they're amazing. And then, like you said, in Texas, there's Trisha Rowe up there in Michigan. There's a lot of up and comers coming up as well, and and I think that and also, you know what, I'm gonna say it, viewership wise, women viewership wise, and on the page, when women breaking, it gets a lot of engagement as well, and a lot of views. So like it's good. It's sometimes, like you said, maybe it could be like sometimes even more shocking with the women breaking, right? That it brings in more engagement, people talking, because maybe sometimes people don't believe that, oh, a woman could do that, and they are
Well,
literally breaking the same materials, you know.
Well, the other thing is, guys, we have big egos, and if
Yeah,
you see a woman step up there and foot stomp 10 boards, and we're kind of like on ourselves, we're like, I don't know if I can do that. That must be fake. She can't do that, you know.
yeah,
And my wife, she's this big, she's little bitty, but it doesn't matter because it's about technique and
yes,
speed and aiming, you know.
yes,
And if they've
yes,
got that, they're a good breaker, and they're not scared of it. I see a lot of people that are intimidated by a stack, and if they just go ahead and hit it, then they'd realize, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. It's like the first time somebody jumped out of an airplane with a parachute. They were like, oh, I'm gonna die, But once you do something one time, then it makes it easier to do it again, and then it
yeah.
opens up doors for other people to do it.
Man, that's so true, man. That's 100% true. And I'm looking forward to this weekend to see who comes for the money. $500 for men, 500 for the women. And there's a bunch of divisions too. Those are 3 divisions for the prize money, but I was at the website, and man, there's so many divisions that you could pick from,
Not
compete in.
90 breaking divisions. We
Yes,
used to have like 20. Now we have 90 breaking divisions, and we're opening up for this tournament. We've brought in new divisions that we've never had before in Texas that are really got people excited. The power wood sidekick, man, or
yes,
power wood kick. It could be any kick they want to throw, but that is going to be so popular here in Texas because we've got some great kickers in Texas that have great students that are learning how to kick like they do.
yeah,
So we've got a big, huge open door, for this. The women's divisions, women, Christy Francesco, she's a new one that's breaking, but she's one of those more well-rounded people. She
yeah,
does she does forms, and she does breaking. And to have somebody that's like that,
yes,
it pushes the sport into the future.
yeah.
Um,
It
there's some
does.
new females that are coming in that are going to be breaking at this tournament that have never broke before with me, but have been working on breaking on their own. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens and what goes down Friday night.
Yeah, man. No, and it's at the A.O.K State Championship, so they got stuff going on the whole weekend at the event, and it's A.O.K is amazing. I went earlier this year in May, and the tournament was so well run. It's a great organization, and I love that they have breaking pretty much in every tournament. Right? They have A.O.K. It's a division in every event that's rated, and it all comes together. Breaking, forms, fighting. Like for me, I feel like it's helping me. Like now, I'm starting to compete in forms. I'm going to compete in fighting, and it started from the breaking. And I feel like everything works together. The breaking helps the fighting. The forms help the breaking. Everything helps each other, and like to evolve into like a tremendous great martial artists, which is what we all want to become, right? So it's great. I would like to see more fighters and more forms competitors go out and try, some breaking, especially with all the divisions you have. Like there's great divisions for point fighters with a side kick, right, or any kick, and like you said, speed and technique. If you throw it right, you could beat anybody, right? If you throw it
Well,
right. Yeah,
it also teaches you aim small, miss small. If
yeah,
you aim for the whole head, you might hit it, but you might miss. But if you're aiming for that little ear hole, that little bitty spot, and you program yourself to hit that spot, you practice that in breaking all the time because, like, we use rebreakable boards, and if you don't hit dead center, sometimes they
yeah,
don't break. And it encourages you because you want to break all the way through. It makes you aim small. It makes you aim in that little bitty
yeah,
crack to
yeah,
be a better martial artist. Being
yeah,
well rounded these days is a big key. I mean, you look at UFC, you look at all those guys. Those guys are well rounded. The ones that win,
yes,
and a lot of those MMA guys, are coming from a point fighting background.
yeah, yeah.
You look at McDaniel's. There's
Yeah,
a whole
Michael
bunch.
Page. Yeah, Michael Page, Ross
Yeah,
Levine, that's karate combat champion. There's some great fighters just from Texas as well. That are great. But yeah, but one thing that I love about the breaking too that greats for fighting is the conditioning that comes from it because every time you hit, you're conditioned. You conditioning yourself to hit harder. So when you're point fighting, right? Point fighting is controlled technique and all that. But still, if your hand is, if you're conditioning your hands with breaking, and you hit somebody with a back fist, they're gonna feel it more than if from a breaker than a non-breaker, right?
if there's a picture out there of Bruce Lee, and he's got his hands just hanging down, and you can see his hands are lapped over
Yeah,
like this with his right on top, and you can see his knuckles, how he conditioned his knuckles. So when he hit somebody, he didn't just hit him with his hand; he hit him with that extra weight because that
yeah,
extra weight that you put on your hand makes it heavier. So a lot of the boxers they want to use like 8-ounce gloves or 12-ounce or 15 or 18 or whatever. So it's like hitting them with a pillow. But if you have a rock like your hand and it's behind that pillow, it's going to come through and hurt worse. And that's
yeah,
what you want. You want that. I mean, face it. We as martial artists, we train for that one time when somebody comes up to us and is going to hurt us.
yeah,
We have that ability to be able to protect ourselves. And the more we condition our body with breaking, point fighting, and with kata,
yeah.
forms, it makes us a more well-rounded, be able to protect ourselves in any situation that comes up.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100% for sure. Hey, so for you could still register for the event, but the materials have to be ordered. So what's the deadlines with this? Like how soon? Uh,
Wednesday's the
Wednesday,
day.
the last day, Wednesday, and that's really great customer service because most events like that I've been to like out here, but you have such a great system in place out there in Texas that Wednesday, that's they have until Wednesday to register and buy all the materials, which that's it. You have today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. That's it, and then it closes off, and that's it. So, but there's still plenty of time to make plans. It's it's in Dallas, Texas area. There's two airports in Dallas. I think that I'm coming in on Dallas Love,
Yeah.
and and there's some great prices out there right now. If anybody's still interested in coming out, I just got my ticket a few days ago, and I think I got it for like $150 round trip, everything Southwest from Love, Dallas Love, and it's
Dallas.
right and Dallas that's like Dallas, and there's another one, Dallas Fort Worth, right? They're both close to the event, right?
DFW is really big. I like Love Field. I like Dallas Love Field. It's a smaller airport, but
Okay.
they're so nice there. They're
Yeah,
and I fly all over the place, but I really like flying in and out of Love Field. It's a
yeah,
smaller airport, but like you said, you can get some really good prices through Southwest.
yeah,
People don't realize how cheap it could be. You know,
yeah, yeah, for real. It is, and there's some great deals. You guys should still make plans there. and then it's at the Mesquite Convention Center. And then the website is where they could go and register. Is it elitebreakersassociation.com, or
Yeah,
it's that's where they
or
go to the
they go on-
registration?
yes, or they can go on A.O.K Strong and register that way too.
Yeah, A.O.K Strong, and then I think it takes you to the KeyHop, right? The KeyHop
Yeah,
registration system, which is a
yeah,
great registration system. It's really easy. You put in your information in there, and it'll show you the divisions that you could compete in. After you put in like your date of birth, your rank, and stuff, and then it'll show you. You won't have to like look to see what divisions you could compete in. It'll show you which one you actually can't compete in, and you just click it and get your materials right there. And you got to do it by Wednesday, and then like I said earlier, there's it's a whole tournament. You could compete Friday and Saturday. You could do breaking, forms, fighting, everything. So it's gonna be an awesome event. I can't wait, man. I think that this is gonna be it's gonna be some great. There's some great breakers in Texas too. Aside from the people coming from out of town, there's some great breakers in A.O.K and in Texas, and I want to see even more breakers come out from all over. It doesn't matter. It don't matter about the politics or anything like that. We're all here to break, and we're all together, one family, right? So,
right. Eric Ryan, he's one of the black belt breakers this year that has really come on strong. He wasn't able to be at the U.S. Open this year due to another tournament schedule, but he is really coming on. He is going to be a strong force to reckon with. There's some other great breakers in Texas. A lot of my students. Um, Tate Shelton, he's a lightweight and he's a really good breaker. There's all kinds of good breakers that are in Texas that just get grown, and even the underbelt divisions.
yeah,
You've got people. I've got a group that from Oklahoma that is coming,
oh
the
yeah,
Mashburn, and they're really good breakers. And then my buddy,
yeah.
Mr. Loudmouth himself. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Clint, right? Clint,
Clint
Clint.
Murray, yeah, Clint. He is on fire. He's been training his butt off for this event. He wants to win, and he's going to be doing fighting and breaking. So
Yeah,
he's gonna be a little bit of a force to reckon with.
yeah, man. He's already like he's already like he hits black belt numbers, right? He hits black belt numbers. He could already
He
hang in there with the black belts for
he is
sure.
right there as a lightweight. He is right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And that's
he's a
something
great.
different we're doing next year. Instead of having ages, we're going to do weight classes. Like we're trying to make ourselves
Yeah,
geared totally towards the U.S. Open and Vegas, to where it's done by weight. So next year we're going to have a lightweight division and a heavyweight division, and not do it so much by ages. Of course, we have the 65 plus division, which we have
yes,
several that are doing that, um, which is really cool to
yeah,
see somebody that's that old get up there and just blow stuff up. But I mean, you look at Ralph Bergamo. He's over 70, and he is still breaking and doing a great job. So you can't count it out. It's something you can do the rest of your life if you want to, if you desire to.
that is something that I want to see more of too. Like I would love to see that more women divisions and like equality with that, and then more with us seniors, because also there's some great breakers that they're not breaking anymore because they don't have really like they don't want to compete. They're really still great. But there's not a division ready for them. If they're in their 60s, right? So like I think that could bring in some great, even more great breakers from the past and bring them back into it, right? And to
Yeah, like
competing
like
again.
Mike Reeves,
Yeah,
Nick
man.
Zimmer, he's getting up there too.
Yeah,
There's a
man.
whole group out there. Bill Lennox up there in
Yeah,
up there in northern country, he's a
yeah.
good breaker, and he trained Mitt Lennox, one of the best breakers in the
Oh
world.
yeah, yeah,
And Bill, he's up there. Don Mackey, he's older. He's in his 70s, and he still breaks. He just did a big demo
yeah. You
up
see.
in Sherman Oaks. So there's some really good breakers that are older. Like you said, they're not really interested in competing against us young guys.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
want to compete against the older guys, like
yeah,
David Cantrell. He may
yeah.
be here. He's older. These older guys, they're looking for something to be able to do where they can still compete and have fun.
Yeah, no, and there's great breakers that I see. I'm new into the breaking world, and like I study a lot of breaking, and I see a lot of great breakers from the past. I wish I would have been there live to see it. Right, I wish I would have been to breaking back then even more, and like, but it'll be great now with these divisions coming, added to the event with their age, and then I could see them live. So it'll be great if more events do it for sure.
There's a guy here in Texas. He used to take, and he would take his knuckles and he would use a hammer on his knuckles.
Wow,
Abel Val, and
wow.
he's in Austin. And some of his guys, they come and break, and they'll be here at this weekend, and they all break non-spaced. They'll break with spaced, but
Ooh.
they prefer to break non-spaced, and there's some beast breakers. I mean, some beast breakers out there.
And yeah, like you said, like you look, no space. There's no space divisions. Like there's 90 divisions. There's 90 divisions you could compete in. That's
Something
crazy.
for everybody. Something for
Yeah,
everybody.
that's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a breaking paradise right there for sure.
We've
Uh,
got dojo that comes has been always coming and supporting us. They're Islandfelt, Stephen Islandfelt and his son are supposed to be there, and they're going to be really a big force to reckon with. Their dojo is out of Tyler, Texas, same place as actually the Tyler, Texas dojo.
yeah.
Uh, that dojo, the instructor was the instructor for the great football player. Did you happen to watch the Kansas City Chiefs last night?
No, no. I just got back from Toronto. I didn't get a chance to watch the game,
Right, right.
but
Well, the the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs was actually from Tyler, Texas.
Patrick Mahomes, yeah, for real.
Yes,
Wow,
yes, Patrick
wow.
Mahomes. He actually went to the Noon Dojo
Oh, wow. I
there
didn't know that. Wow,
uh, White House, Texas, and that's where he learned martial arts. Him and his sister. So, we've got that dojo coming, and they
nice,
break, and they've got some really good breakers. So it'll be fun to
nice.
get in there.
Hey, that's cool. That's a fun fact right there. So he was a martial artist, the world champion quarterback, right? He did martial arts, and their instructors coming to the event as well. It's gonna be awesome, man. I really can't wait. It's gonna be great. Make sure you guys go and you register. You still have time to register up until Wednesday, and you still have time to make it now. There's a tournament hotel still. Do you know if there's still any space in the room block if anybody wants to come out?
There's still some rooms left to
Yeah,
to get. They're going to have to get them pretty quick. I think they're going
yeah,
to gobble them pretty quick.
yeah.
This is one of the bigger tournaments in Texas. It's pretty well renowned, and everybody don't realize that the A.O.K is the original tournament circuit that
Yes.
is pushed out there across the entire United States because of the way they run their tournament.
Yeah.
And back in the heyday of A.O.K, back when there weren't too many other tournament circuits out there,
Hmm.
they might have 800 competitors at one event, a
Yeah.
thousand competitors at an event, and
Yeah.
they have some really great martial artists, that have come and won everywhere. You look at Linda Denley, she
Yeah.
is one of the best point fighters in the United States, and she's fought all over the world and one of the best point fighters in the United States. And
Yeah.
and she's from Texas, and she cut her teeth on A.O.K events.
Yeah. 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 No, AOK is one of those legendary circuits that's been around from the beginning of the sport, pretty much. It's been around a long time and it's still going strong. AOK strong, right? When I went earlier this year in May, it was huge. That Chambers tournament was a big event. It was like and great, and it had that kind of still that old school vibe from before, which I love with the new school. It was kind of like mixed in there because now you go to tournaments and it's like just it looks like just the new age sport karate that's now. But there you had that, but I saw some of the old school people that I would see like at Al Garza's event back when it was a NASCAR tournament and stuff like that, and I loved it, and it had that old school feel to it as well, which was great. I
Well,
just
see,
I loved it.
See, our heritage is George Minshew, Tony Lopez, Al Garza, and
Yeah,
um, some of these greats that were great martial artists that went all over the world and competed wherever there was an event, and they
yeah,
made Texas so seasoned that
Yeah.
there's so many different, like Louisiana has some of the best point fighters
Yes.
that I've ever seen. You know, and they come to
Yeah.
A.O.K so they can
Yeah.
fight different people, you know.
Yeah. Hey, that's true. That's true for sure. I know Ryan George. He's a great friend of mine and from New Orleans, and he's a champion. And he used to go. He used to tell me when he was like really in his prime, he would just go to Texas all the time to compete because that's where he loved he it was great for him competition wise and also to help him for the national stuff, because it's like national caliber out there in Texas for real. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
great event, man. I really
people don't
can't.
realize if people don't realize if you want to challenge yourself. I'm blessed because I'm here in Texas, but if you really want to challenge yourself, come in Texas, come do some stuff in Texas, and then you'll realize where the roots really came from.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, and those drones. How many drones are you guys giving out to the kids, to the juniors?
We're
That's gonna
giving
be
out
awesome.
each category. We're giving out 4 drones for each of the kids divisions, so that they compete. So if they compete in power wood hand, power wood foot, and power side kick or power kick, those 3 divisions, whoever wins the most points in those 3 divisions wins. So we got drones for the 5 and unders, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, and then 17 and up.
Wow, wow,
Got
wow.
4 drones to give away, and we got some pretty nice trophies that we're giving away with them.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's so exciting, man. I really can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a great event. And then and that's it. It's the last tournament of the year, pretty much. That's it, as we're winding down the 2025 season. And then it just kicks back off in 2026 with some great breaking. And I love the way where breaking is going to. There's more. I feel like it's growing so much right now. There's new breakers coming in. There's there's old breakers that are coming back. There's non-break. There's martial artists that are athletes already that never broken that want to start trying to break as well. So I look forward to seeing 2026 the numbers just keep going. And there's circuits and leagues as well that want to break. And if you're out there and you have a league, right, and you don't have breaking, you know it could be as simple as just calling Larry Fields to run everything for you, right? And that's all, and that's it. It's a simple process, and anywhere in the country, if you're interested in starting breaking in your league, all you got to do is contact us and Larry, because you have a system. You run over how many events a year?
Anywhere between 15 to 30 events a year.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah,
We're looking
yeah,
for more. We're looking for
yeah,
more because we want breaking, and we have options. Like at this event, we're doing the breaking on Friday night. Some events we do it on Saturday. Some events we do it Sunday morning. There's different ways of making it to where it's feasible for everybody to do. And you tell people, oh yeah, grandma, I won kata, and she goes, oh, that's great. Oh, grandma, I won breaking, and here's the boards I broke. it's it's
yeah,
it's a tangible.
yeah,
It's more tangible. Oh no, I won this trophy too, and I've broke all these boards. It's tangible. And then the
it
other
is.
thing we're working on with you is getting it to where it's videoed, so it's also where grandma and grandpa can see it, to
Yeah,
where sometimes some of these events, they're great events, but they don't have the coverage that they need.
yeah,
And my hat goes off to you because you have made it to where we can have that visualization that we
yeah,
don't normally get because of the way you blow it out there. I'm so impressed and
yeah,
so
for sure.
thankful for you doing that and making it to where people can actually see
Yeah.
what we do at tournaments.
Yeah, man, that's my goal for events when I go to them. Like this weekend, I was in a tournament, Toronto, and like, they didn't have breaking, but just that's my approach to everything is with forms, fighting, breaking. It's just, I try to cover it all. Like I literally was there Friday from like 10 a.m. to like 8 p.m. nonstop, basically. And I'm trying to get every category. Like I switch it around to juniors, I women. I try to make sure that everybody gets highlighted as well. Every age category, and then Saturday I was there from the morning till 10 o'clock at night almost. So it was like I really work hard into pushing, pushing out there. So that combination of having Point Fighter Live and like and let's say you Larry in there with to add the breaking, like it could not just it could add so much value to your event, and we're willing to come out and help. You know what I'm saying? And it's and it won't break the bank. It'll actually help you. It'll actually it won't even break the bank. You can actually it'll help you make more, right? It'll actually get you more numbers to it, and and it's just it's a win-win-win for everybody, right? You
Well, and
get breaking more out there.
people don't realize that breakers, they just don't come just to break. You
Yeah.
know, there's some guys that come just to break, but a lot of them, they'll come and they'll do breaking, they'll do fighting, they'll do forms, they'll do weapons. Because the guys that break want to be more well-rounded. They want to explore different competitive natures to make themselves a better martial artist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, 100%. And it's growing, man. New Orleans is gonna have an event next year. Where we're hashing out all the details for that soon. I know that they want to break. There's a league out there in Las Vegas, in Los Angeles, which will be great because we're building up a huge tournament out there in Vegas as well. That was this year was their inaugural event, and plus the U.S. Open, and there's so many great events and new leagues that I'm saying that are building it up, and like at for the ultimate goal, right? At the end of the day, is just who could break the most, right? I think that's the one thing about breaking that I love the most. It's like there's no judgment at all. It's just you and the material and whoever could
Right.
break the most, right? I
Yep.
love that part.
That's
Yeah,
what I love about it. And for us to keep pushing breaking. No, I've had a tournament where I had at my personal event, I had over 450 competitors. I want to have an event that has 500 breakers. That's where
breaker.
I want it to go
Yeah,
to. And I know, as stubborn as I am and as hard as I push, it's going to happen. And
it
I
will.
I want it to happen. I'd love for it to happen in my lifetime to where we have one event that has 500 breakers from all over the
Yeah.
United States, all over the world. And that's my goal. That's where I want to see it.
I think it's gonna happen because you could already see, with the exposure and the views and like it's on ESPN. Like I think that it's starting to build this momentum. Where look, Monster Energy is sponsoring Anthony our Truther and Parker Moody, and I heard it's like full everything wherever they want to go. They're paying for everything, like their materials. They're like so it costs sometimes it costs a lot of money to do these things. So like now it's like where you have the incentive of having sponsors coming in, and I think that is just the beginning. I think that there's going to be a lot more sponsors that come in, more competitors, more, and I think even investors are going to start coming into because it's such a it is a spectator friendly sport as well. You know, it is a friendly spectator sport as well. We were
Well,
talking about that, right? That on a in a bar that you went to one time. That
oh
everybody
yeah.
was sitting down at the U.S. Open, and when the breaking came on, everybody was like glued to the TV, right?
Yep. Yeah. I went one year. We went, and I knew it was going to be playing, and I went into a bar, and they'd be showing some stuff on there, and then as soon as the breaking came on, everybody's eyes were just watching the breaking. And it's a kind of a morbid thing because people want to see somebody get hurt, and then they're mesmerized by they see how many we break,
Yeah,
and it's fair because you and I, we compete against each other, and I help you set up, you help me set up, I hold for you, you hold for me. We help each other.
yeah,
But the bottom line is we're really breaking materials, and that's what we're breaking against. And it
yeah,
makes a more camaraderie between people because we are competing, but
right.
we're competing against a number. And
Yeah,
it's visual because they can see, okay, this guy broke 14 bricks, this guy has to break 15 to win. And it's very visual
yeah,
where they
man.
and count it. And there's no, oh, well, it's like football. They've tried so hard to make football where they can video it and go back and forth. It takes a while for that. It's not that way
Yes,
with it's boom, 14. He broke 14, you got to break 15 for the win. And it's so visual. It makes it so
man.
clear. There's not a judgment. It's what's counted.
Maybe that's why that camaraderie is there, right, between the breakers, because there's not that human element of judging and where they can't agree or disagree on something, right? So it's
Yep.
just like, hey, you beat me, good job, right? And you're like, let's go. You're cheering them on to break more because it's really you against the material, right? At the end of the day,
Well,
and then the
well,
winners, yeah, who breaks more.
like
That's it.
North Carolina, Ale, Anthony Ventura, he beat
Yeah,
me, you know,
yeah,
and I shook his hand afterwards and told him good job,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I beat people and they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you're so great." And I'm like, you can do the same thing. You just have to practice. And that's why my hat goes off to you of how hard you're practicing to be a better martial artist. I mean, you pick my brain all the time. Hey, what do I need to do here? Hey, what do I need to do here? And it's fun for me to see somebody like you that is just blown up like a rocket and going to the sky with this.
yeah, man, for real. Thank you. No, and like you said to me before, like you want people to challenge you and come out there like when you want people to come out there so he pushes you to even come out stronger like Jason DeBard that came out and just destroyed the US Open bricks a few years ago, and then you came back last year and it was great. It pushed you. You came back last year looking so this year is so amazing, like it gave you that challenge and that drive and that push, and at the end of the day everybody grows at the same time. And like you said, you know, you like, you want me to do like I made it on the stage and you're there cheering me on. You're like, oh, come on, hurry up. You're like, the time's gonna run out, and like grab your wrist, not your hand. You're giving me tips in a moment right before you're gonna hit break. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going for 12. That's what you broke, I think, right? 12 or 13, right? So you're there cheering me on, helping me trying to break those 12 when you're about to break 13, where you won with 12, right? I think. So yeah, you see, so I love that part about breaking as well. We cheer each other on and we want each other, and it pushes us as well because it's us against the materials, right?
Right. There's been so many years, you look back, like John Doyle, Ronnie Sullivan, Drew Serrano,
Yeah,
Clinton Murphy. All those guys made me a better breaker.
yeah,
Colin Thompson,
yeah,
he beat me one year. He broke me with 16, I had 17 up. I broke 16, but he still won because he had a better percent.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
go back and forth, and it just makes you I think about these guys when I work out because I think, man, I want them to come back. I want them to break. They were a
yeah,
beast breaker. Some of the lightweights. We talked about Ralph Bergamo.
yeah,
Raphael. Raphael was one of the best little breakers in the world. He was like 5'6", weighed
wow,
like 75 pounds, but he was a powerhouse breaker. You know,
wow,
Um Peter over in Las Vegas. He's a great breaker. These guys, all these great names
yeah,
make the sport better.
yeah,
And we need to always, just give them the respect for competing and making it more fun. I couldn't wait to see Clinton Murphy because he and I at the time were the only ones really breaking non-spaced bricks, and he and I would go back and forth. How many you breaking? I'm breaking three. I'm breaking four. And we would just go back and forth, and it made us a better martial artists down the
yeah,
road.
man. No, no, for sure. It's amazing. I love the direction that the sport is going with breaking, and also, man, this event's gonna be amazing, as well. And I can't wait for it. It's this weekend. Make sure you guys, plan to go, and it's gonna be awesome. But I forgot there is one more event, this year that we're both gonna be there because you're going. I just set the deal too, so this is kind of news for you as well in a way. So you're gonna be at this event, the showdown in December 20th, right? Which is next week. It's next week. We're gonna be doing which is great. There's a great direction that the sport is going to now, because now there's gonna be 4 people doing breaking demonstrations at this event, and they're doing cage matches, point sparring, kickboxing, jujitsu, and we're doing breaking demos in between in the octagon. So how cool is that? That we're gonna be there in South Carolina, Hub City Martial Arts, right?
That is going to be too cool. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've broken at one time Mohican's son in Massachusetts. We did they did sport MMA and we did
Yeah.
breaking. So like in between the rounds, we were breaking, and that's where I had some I had my one of my world titles. I broke I think it was 200, 117 bricks in 10 seconds. And then I also
Whoa.
set the world record for the most with the palm strike at that same event. I broke 11 bricks with a palm strike. So it's so much fun when you see the different aspects of martial arts combined
Yes.
like that. Then it's fun for everybody.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Look, they made it. They made a flyer with me, and they're gonna make one of you now too as well. And if anybody wants to go out to this, they're doing set matches now too, so you could actually contact them. Joseph Brackett, Hub City Martial Arts, and if you want to be part of this, you can. We're gonna be breaking, and they're look at the cool. They made a cool flyer with me. You can't see it, but there's a flyer here with me that they made me with the folding the pan and like with the cage behind me. It looks super cool. And it's cool that you've done this stuff before already, right? You, Ralph Bergamo, and like I think that that's another. I think that that's gonna be now in the social media age. I think that doing stuff like this, it's gonna create even more opportunities. So I can't wait to get the footage from this and post it, and then I'm already in talks with other fight companies and that promotions. Imagine if this becomes a norm as entertainment in the combat sports where we're breaking in between with demos, right? Wouldn't isn't I think that that's the direction I'm trying to push it to, and I think that it can make an event even more entertaining, even with the fighting in the cage or in MMA or kickboxing or whatever, and then some breaking in between. I think that this is awesome. I can't wait to close the deals on this because on those other fight leagues because it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be awesome December 20. I can't wait to do that, and then that will be my last event of the year actually. Right, I got this weekend and then next weekend, which is gonna be awesome, and then after this weekend, I mean Friday I'm competing at yours, and then I'm going to Nick Zombri's in Orlando, another breaking event as well, which is ABCTF, which is also it's also somebody that we're working with, that you're working with now too, and we're going to try to do events next year that are not on the same date, so that we could even combine and support each other even more, right? Because there's some great Orlando breakers, some great breakers in Texas, and like it's going to be good to cross promote and go to each other's events as well. So I'm really looking forward to the future, man, of breaking.
Yeah, the sport MMA doing like a little competition, even if you just had like four guys all set up, ready to go,
Yeah.
and in between the rounds, all right, guys, you got this much time, break, break, break. That's how we did it. And you have a competition in a competition to where
Oh yeah.
it goes
Yeah.
back and forth, and it makes it
Oh
a lot
man.
more fun.
Yeah, you could do competition in a competition. Yeah, you see. So I'm really looking forward to it. December 20th. They gave me the opportunity to do this and us, and it's gonna be me, you, Anthony, our truther. Alexander Carlos is gonna be there too as well. We're all gonna do it, and then my goal is to get the footage there in a cage setting and kind of show these other fight leagues to show how the crowd gets pumped up and how cool it is in a cage setting. And then that's when I'm gonna like finalize my deals with them. And I can't say the names, but they're promotions that you guys will know for sure. So I can't wait to for 2026, man. It's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to see where the sport is next year at this time, right when we're talking here in December.
Oh, it's going to grow. It's going to
Yeah,
continue to grow. We're going to have a lot of fun, and there's plenty of room for other people to come along and break with us.
yeah, for sure. Awesome, man. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Happy Monday to everybody. Remember, this weekend, the A.O.K State Championships, Elite Breakers. It's going to be an awesome event. $500. You have a chance to compete with me. I'm going to be there. I'm going for the money. So there's prize money for women, for men. There's drones for kids. It's going to be an amazing event. Go to Elite Breakers Association .com to go ahead and get all your information, take you to the registration and everything, and we'll see you there. All right. You got until Wednesday to register. All right, man. Thanks for joining me. All right. Any last word? Any last things you want to say before we finish?
Oh, just I just want people to work out, have fun, get better, become a better martial artist, and work hard. And remember always, bang bang, baby. Ha!
Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys, have a great day. Power, baby. Us. Woo. Yes.